Hi, Lisanne. Great that you are participating in today's podcast. Want to taste talks food ingredients. I'm sure people would like to get to know you a little bit better, and obviously, the company you work for, Food Scientist for Hire. Can you give us a brief introduction?
Yeah, of course. Good morning to you too. We are food scientists for hire. My name is Lisanne van der Kooi. We are food product developers, and we focus on creating recipes for companies that don't have their own R&D team. So they like to outsource it, and we also help upscaling from recipe development to factories.
All right, that sounds very exciting. And today we're going to talk a little bit more about alcoholic beverages. As you are in the center of the innovation, can you share some of your insights in regarding to what are the trends out there? How do you see the market developing?
Yeah, of course. So what we see is we get a lot of requests for RTD drinks. So alcoholic beverages with not too much alcohol. Actually, you can see that it's a trend that is quite low alcohol. Sometimes. We also get requests about using cocktail flavors for drinks, and then combining it with low alcohol. But also, I can see a trend in non-alcoholic, but using the alcoholic flavors, like the mojito flavors, for example. Cocktails. We can also see that. There's an interest for the like mixers. So, for example, syrups. That is already the concentrate for the drink, and people can add their own sparkling water and combine it with vodka, and they can basically adjust the alcohol percentage themselves. Because sometimes, people want a lower alcohol percentage or higher or nothing at all, but still have the flavors from cocktails basically. Like I mentioned before, mojito. Um, but also it doesn't always is like a syrup format for the mixers, but also powders. We can see that people have to mix the powder in their own drinks and prepare it. But also the RTDs, so in cans, and using like already drinks, for example, Lipton iced tea, but make it alcoholic. We can see that. And if I think beer and wine is still the most common alcoholic beverage. And what we can see, what is a bit of a trend, especially in the US, because we also work with a lot of US customers, is that they use the hops and combine it with tea leaves and create a kind of beer, but don't focus on the beer marketing. But it is an alcoholic or like a replacement drink for alcoholic drinks, but they are not. It's not the usual process how an alcohol-free beer is made, but using what I mentioned before: tea leaves, hops, and create a kind of beer flavor.
And what kind of tea is that? Is that like specific types of tea, or is it like a black tea?
Yeah, it can be just the regular tea leaves, and together with the hops, you can create like a berry flavor. But it can be black tea leaves. It really depends on what the customer wants. But obviously the hop also gives a really berry flavor. Yeah, so that's really quite interesting. Yeah, and also we've been working on our own real brewed ginger beers with really the quality ingredients, because people really like to use obviously natural, but good quality, and if it's possible, local as well. That's obviously a trend already happening for the last couple of years. But yeah, it's almost a normality that that you don't use any artificial ingredients, but focus natural, if we can, organic, local. That's like a thing. Yeah.
And these brands that make this hop tea, because I'm quite fascinated by that actually. That make that combination. Are those typical breweries, or are those more beverage companies that want to take some of the brewery market?
No, so it's not the brewers, but more like the drink companies. So yeah, it's therefore not really focused on an like it's not a beer, but they market it more like a hop and tea drink, and then it's not like it is the usual looks of a beer, but it's more the beverage companies.
Okay, and it's low alcohol containing, eh? And low alcohol to you is like 4 or 5%, or is it lower than that? Okay, there's no alcohol at all.
No. So the brews, the hops and the teas, there's no alcohol at all. It's really an like how you make a tea basically. So there's no alcohol at all. But the RTD drinks that's another side. We've had a couple of projects that, yeah, um, yeah, RTD, so cans, um, and combining. Like the usual flavors, for example, Lipton iced tea, and make that into an alcoholic kind of drink. Yeah.
Okay, so if I can summarize a little bit, eh? So on the one hand side, you see there's some interest in like cocktail mixes, eh? And then on the one hand side, you have the RTDs, but you also actually have these syrups, and I can see these syrups are used for at home, for people at home. Determining themselves the alcohol percentage, and can play around with those syrups. And then there is a trend of actually non-alcoholic, uh, but trying to grab market from the alcoholic beverage for non-alcoholic, right? And there you mentioned the hops and the tea. I'm really going to look this up because I'm quite fascinated about what you just told us. Because I never saw it, so it triggers me. Um, what we typically see on the Want to Taste platform is that a lot of brewers are using juice concentrates and flavoring to create new trendy products in the market, but also in the energy drinks or in the natural drinks. We see some movement where people are using new flavor types or concentrates to create new developments. Um, so it's actually more or less in line with what you're saying. I think it's super great what you guys are doing, and must be a super nice job to be always in the center of innovation. And I really admire the work that you guys are doing. And basically, we come to an end. But if there's one last thought that you would like to share before we close, what would that be?
Well, that's I just think that the innovation doesn't stop. So we see that people are looking for new things, different products, and so innovation always keeps happening, and I think it will still happen in the future, which is obviously good for us to see all the trends, and good for yourselves as well, I guess. So yeah, that's my last my last thing to say.
Well, thank you very much, Lisanne. And we'll for sure be in touch. And I hope to see you, hopefully, also in future episodes, coming back and sharing these great insights. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much.